Definitely give. I know I can go 75 minutes. I'm not gonna even try. By no means necessary. You, you've talked about opening up your own wrestling school one day for women to teach them the ins and outs of the business and what it is about what it is about teaching women about wrestling and the business that goes within it and beyond the ring.
I think in my career, in the 21 years, I've been trained by Jason Knight, and I was trained and mentored by the Baltimore and Alpha. They not that they sheltered me. I don't want to say they sheltered me. They just really kept me close to make sure that I didn't experience anything negative in this business. They really looked out for me. They were like my fathers. They were just like, no, you're going to stay close to me. This is where you're going to go. This is where we want you to be. Don't hang around with them over there. They wanted me to pave my own way, but they really wanted to make sure that I didn't see the negative side of what females can experience in professional wrestling, because we get a lot of people don't realize, and I know it's been mentioned in many outlets. But for me to want to open up my own school, and I have students, I don't have a school yet, but I do train students and help them. It's more or less getting them prepared for what they can experience in this business. Not just the positives, because everyone hears the positivity, but what negative, like for females, our mental health is really important when it comes to professional wrestling. It's not just getting into a locker room and, changing and not having a female locker room. It's really going into these locker rooms and understanding that you're probably one of the only two females in a sea of men. We want to talk. I want to make sure that I let them understand that you have to have the confidence that if you see something, if you feel awkward, if you feel some type of way, that you are allowed to speak your mind. You really have to speak up, and don't wait till a month or two later to speak about a situation. Speak it right then and there. There's a lot of things that, the public doesn't understand, is that when you are a female wrestler, we are glorified as sex objects. It's just the way it is. And it's just the way the business works. And I think that's in any business. It's just the way it works. But if you don't want to be objectified to that, speak your mind. And there are people who can get there. I think the locker rooms and the business now has changed dramatically compared to what it was when I first came in. So I just want to make sure that any females that are under my tutelage or advice or support, that I give them the real honest truth. When it comes to locker rooms, or it comes to locker room etiquette and speaking your mind and how to handle certain things. I'm always there for them. And just also when it comes to just actual wrestling itself, wrestling with intergender wrestling or just regular female wrestling, just making sure that it's okay to say no to certain moves if you're putting together stuff. Just if you don't feel comfortable about saying it's okay to say no. Your spot's never going to get lost. Wrestling is always here. Your your mental health is 10 times more, how do I put it? Your mental health should be your number one priority. Your health, your safety of your health, everything should be your number one priority. So I really do give them a breakdown of making sure that it's not just a physical aspect. Anyone can be a pro wrestler. I can break that down to you. Anyone can get in the ring. When it comes to females, our anatomies are a lot different than male wrestlers. We have to, I don't want to say fall a certain way or train a certain way, but we do. We can't be trained like the men because our bodies are not like the men. So we have different facets of our body that we have to protect in that ring, and we have to make sure that we understand what we can and cannot do. Every wrestler is different. Everyone wants to be a high flyer or put all these moves together, but sometimes your body's not going to let you. You have to really focus and listen to your body as a female, because every female's body is different. We have a lot of things going on with our bodies that males don't understand, that when it comes to training and it comes to certain things that, we put that in the forefront. I've trained with the guys, but when I went to Japan and trained with, the girls over there, it was a mind challenge. It was just like, wow, I didn't even realize that I should be doing this way, because this is the way a female should be done, trained instead of the male way, because our bodies are way differently. A lot of my injuries early in my career came because I was trained by men, and I didn't know how to protect my body or my assets on my body because I was trained by a man. They don't understand the female anatomy and how we should be trained. So now when I do my training now, I understand my body, what I have to protect. In the long run, females want to have kids and stuff like that, or anything, whatever you want to do, we have to protect our bodies to prepare for that. We don't want to mess any of our insides up if you want to have kids. So there's a lot of things besides that. I also teach branding, making sure you trademark your wrestling names that people don't understand. I help them out with taxes and, being an independent contractor. There's certain things that you have to do. So it's not just the physical part of wrestling. It's everything that comes with it that no one tells you: the branding, the taxes, saving your money, what can go on in the locker room, protecting yourself in situations. Fan interaction is a big thing. Whereas, you want to make sure you protect yourself with the fans, because the fans can get a little touchy. So there's a lot of things that I think I can offer students in my school whenever I do decide to get one. That's not just professional wrestling training. It's everything else that comes with it that females don't understand, and, that comes with it. And it's just something to give them the mentality of, this is what's going to come with it. I'm going to prepare you, and I'm always going to be here throughout your career if you ever need me. At any point in your life, whether it's personally, professionally, I will be here to help you, because it is a tough business for females. It really, really is. And I'm just here just to make sure that they have an easy transition into it.
Man, you need to write a book. I'm just putting that out there. When you have time, because you're busy.
When I have time.
You mentioned in a previous interview talking about ageism and pay equality. And from somebody, an outsider looking in, it seems that women's wrestling has improved in the last 5 years or so. I can't even imagine what it was like before that behind the scenes. But how do we kind of first off tackle the ageism? And then second, pay equality. I know it's like a big question, but I mean, just how, any suggestions? Like, I don't even, it's such a, I have no idea.
It's such a, it's a really big subject that should be touched on. And unfortunately, I don't have the time to go into it in super detail on what I think. I just think personally that males and females are treated differently based on their age. It really is. You can see it across the board in any promotion. They put this time limit on females for whatever reason, this age limit on females, that after a certain age, you cannot compete. Why? Why is that? If you can go, you can go. It does not matter your age. Some people retire at 25 years old because their bodies can't handle it anymore. It doesn't matter if you can go in the ring and you can deliver and you can do your job, whether it's professional wrestling or whether it's the sports entertainment, if you have a character, whatever you can do to keep your job, it doesn't matter what your age is. And that's the biggest thing. It's professional wrestling. After like 30, you're considered a vet. Doesn't matter how long you've been, you're considered a vet. Like, you're old now. Nah, honey, I'm going to be 41 and I'm in the prime of my career, and I can still deliver with those 25-year-olds, run circles around them. It does not matter. If I can go, I can go. It's up to me to tell you when I cannot go. When my body says stop, I will stop. I will not keep going. I can tell you that. So I think that's the biggest issue right now is everyone, companies and promotions, doesn't matter, across the board, independents, doesn't matter where you are. They just put this limit on it, and I don't understand why. If you can go, you can go, and you can deliver, you can deliver. You can bring in those ratings and bring them in. It does not matter your age, because the men, I can tell you, whether they're 50 years old or not, if they can still go, they're still making their paychecks, and we won't even get into on that pay. Because the pay differential is totally different for females and males. I'm telling you that. They want more out of the females than they do with the men. Don't know why, but we get paid less. Mm-hmm. The gap is closing. Don't get me wrong. The gap will close, but we really have to bring those issues to the forefront now, because, me going on 41 years old and 21 years into this business, I've been through it and seen it all. And no one's going to tell me at almost 41 years old that that's it, you're done, you're going to retire. No, honey, I retire when my body says I'm going to retire, and you better pay me for the years that I put in this business, and you better pay me, because sometimes I can deliver 10 times more in that ring than most men can. So it should just really depend on your talent, really, and what you can deliver and what you can bring to the table. Throw out the age, pay us what we deserve and what we know what we're worth. Simple as that.